Hello, people. I finished a book. I am in Florida. I finished this a few days ago, but I got a job down here, and I'm working in Florida. I'm working outside in Florida, and it's probably gonna fucking kill me. But let's go ahead and do this video. This is Through the First Antarctic Night, 1898 to 1899. And this is the De Gerlach, or the Cook expedition, that seems to me that like they didn't really have much of a plan. And towards the end of the Antarctic summer, they kind of were indecisive whether they wanted to try and sail south and sight some new land, or whether they wanted to get the hell out of the ice pack. And they sailed south a little bit, and they got caught. They got caught in the ice. So they had to spend the whole winter in the ice. The book goes a long ways before they even leave South America. You know, they spend a lot of time in Patagonia, and it's pretty interesting, actually. So they get into the ice pack, and they have to spend the winter. Antarctica at this time, at the turn of the century there, is kind of completely unexplored. They go through the history of who was the first people to sight it. Drake was there, and Drake is one of the guys that I need to bone up on. I don't know enough about Drake. I just have a few notes in here, and again, I can't figure out whether few notes means it was a good book or few notes means it was a bad book. This was a good book. I really enjoyed it. 450 pages. This was written in 1909. It's written by Cook. And if you don't know anything about Cook, Cook is one of the guys, the first man at the North Pole, the geographic North Pole, is still up for debate. Cook claimed to be there, and Cook has been discredited. Perry claimed to be there. Some people say that Perry has been discredited, and that actually Amundsen was not only the first guy at the geographic South Pole, but the first guy at the geographic North Pole also. He flew over the North Pole. Every book about polar exploration has 50 to 100 pages of obligatory fundraising information. I don't know why they I mean, you could probably burn through that in a paragraph, and it's kind of boring, and this one was no different. You know, it had at least 50 pages of it. I got to read something on page 7. Let's see what the hell that is. And I don't know if this is... Oh, they're in Patagonia, and they're discussing why the South Americans have never done any Antarctic work. This explains the lack of interest of South Americans in anything polar. So long as beautiful women, good wines, fine cigars, and delicate foods are not found at the South Pole, Latin Americans will probably not aspire to reach it. Cook is a really good writer. He's Nansen was not a good writer. Amundsen was not a good writer, but Cook is a good writer. Cook ends up getting thrown in jail. He, kind of like Amundsen, they're very good explorers, but as far as fitting in with the financial world, they're not great. Second paragraph, page 69. Returning to our present voyage, and to the less sentimental and less brutal, but I fear less religious modern times, the Belgica, which is their ship, but I fear less religious has not only no one to fill the chaplain's duties, but so far as I know, only one Bible, which is kept under cover, and no prayer book. Religion is apparently not one of our missions. But then I must hasten to add that on expeditions of this kind, land pilots are more necessary than sky pilots. And that's just another example of his humor. A lot of these expeditions, these guys, sometimes would build a hut, and they'd stay in the hut all winter long. They'd be stuck in a ship, in the ice. They were pretty religious fellows, and they did prayer time and all that stuff. Drake, Patagonia. Drake is one of the guys that when they first encounter penguins, Drake lands and finds the penguins, and the penguins have no fear, man. And Drake and his men, they're shut up. Drake and his men, their reaction to this is, let's kill 3,000 penguins. I'm gonna let this stupid dog in. There's no cats here. Come on, get in. Get in there, you stupid idiot. I want to try and get a cat here. I don't know, houses in Florida are a little bit different than houses in Michigan. Nobody has a basement, so there doesn't seem to be a great place to put the litter box. But I'm having cat withdrawals, man. Living with a poodle is completely different. Amundsen is on this expedition, and he learns a lot from this expedition. Chiefly, he learns about what to eat and what not to eat. They hardly even mention the word scurvy in this book, but during the winter when they're stuck in the ice, there's a couple of guys that go insane. There's one guy that dies. They're suffering from scurvy. And Cook is the one, give credit to Cook. He's the one that figures it out. They have to eat fresh meat. And they eat seal meat, they eat penguin meat. They don't like the penguin meat, but after a little while, they really enjoy the penguin meat. Page 325. I don't have anything to read here, but page 325, I don't know why they do this, or why Cook does this. They have a little picture of the cat there on page 325. There's a fucking cat on board the ship while they're stuck in the ice. He doesn't mention it until 325, and the cat dies from something. The cat's name was Nansen. At one point, they're trying to figure out what's wrong with the cat, and they think the cat is lonely. So they put a penguin in the room with the cat, and they say that the cat sits in one corner and the penguin sits in the other. The cat dies. There's like one paragraph about the cat in the whole fucking book. He says that everybody loves the cat, and they're all, anytime they walk past the cat, they bend over and pet it, and the cat is apparently pretty happy for quite some time, but then it gets grumpy, it starts biting people, and a month later or so, it dies. That's it. I'm going to turn it off. Thanks for watching.